Here we go for your Sunday morning and your Pratt Pack edition. Authorities launch probe into former Trump prosecutor Jack Smith for alleged illegal political activity. So what does this all mean? Well, you've heard the old saying, fool me once, but it's also going to be, I think, a part of our future. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Let's just get to the end result here, and let's get back to the business of governing. But I also think this will be a statement that will be heard from one end of the political aisle to the next. We have to stop trying to investigate and suing and allegations and accusations about other members of the party and wasting the taxpayers' time and money, because this country needs to get back to what we are famous for, that Constitution, our democracy, the Founding Fathers. And as we approach 250, we have to make it a point to get back to the basics in America. Have you ever thought about the time we have wasted? I mean, think about it. Iran-Contra, Watergate, like them or not, they have been a part of everything. Scandals, impeachment process, everything that you would just not even believe that the United States would have unfold. Maybe back during the Revolutionary War era, after, when you had that very early president, George Washington, trying to just make his way into what the Constitution would be moving forward. Yeah, you could see struggles for power, maybe even in the 1800s when that Civil War was about ready to break out. And maybe even later at the turn of the 19th, going into the 20th century in the Industrial Age, and the power brokers, such as many of them from Grant Street, when it was Wall Street, the Fricks, the Morgans, the Carnegies. But now, all those years later, when we had already put a person on the moon, we go into the 70s with all this hope, desire, and dream, but instead we have the Watergate hearings, we have a president leaving the White House in scandal, and the collapse of our manufacturing base, double-digit inflation, gas rationing, and the end of the Vietnam War, in which we did do nothing but turn our back on those brave men who fought in Vietnam. So we continue to spiral out of control because we continue to point fingers at one another. And instead of doing it through debate and issues and real things that matter, we try to bring other members of the political party down and bring them to their knees by suing or prosecuting. I think the president is simply saying, look, hey, you want a fair fight? Okay. What's good for you and good for me is not good for the country. So let's stop the nonsense and let's get back to the business of governing. I think this is more about a statement than actually trying to bring someone in which they believe did something wrong to justice. But it is definitely a time to stop the madness when it comes to investigating and suing, especially when it's on the taxpayer's dime.